Water is life. How much water is enough? How much is too much? Stay with us. We're going to talk about this. All right, welcome Strategic Prepper community. Before we get going, please click that like and click that subscribe. Also, join us on Patreon. We love you guys. We have a growing community over there, and we talk about a lot of in-depth things that we can't cover here on YouTube. All right, let's talk about water. There are many videos on how to build a water catchment, a rain catchment system. We're going to cover that probably in another video, but right now I want to talk about how to know how much you should have, how much capacity should you have. Do you need an underground cistern for 10,000 gallons of water, or is 50 gallons enough? Probably not, but we're going to talk about how to figure that out. All right, so we have to figure out two things. We need to know how much water is going out and how much water is coming in. Seems pretty simple. All right, so let's talk about the going out first. How much water are we using? So we've got gardens, and let's take a look at our vegetable garden. You can kind of see it over there. We've got one over there. Let's come over here, take a look at this raised bed. All right, so we're going to measure the square footage of all of that. I've got 7 raised beds. I've got 2 gardens up here. So we're going to measure the square footage, okay? And we need an inch of rain a week. So what we do is we want to get everything to gallons. Everything's got to get to gallons. That's very important. So we're going to measure the square footage, and we should have 1 inch of rain a week. Well, we're measuring foot, inch. We have to convert. All right. So 1 inch is 0.083. So let's say we have a 10 by 10 garden, and that's 100 square feet times 1 inch. Well, convert that to feet. That's 0.0833. That is 8.3 cubic feet of water. 8.3 cubic feet. All right, we're not done. And you multiply that. I think the number is 7.4. So 7.4 gallons in a cubic feet. So we've got the cubic feet. So then we're going to go ahead and factor that in. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and multiply that by the gallons per cubic feet. I think it's 7.4, but we're going to check that. I'll put that on the screen there. And that tells us how many gallons. And that's quite a bit of gallons. A vegetable garden needs a lot of water. All right, so that's just the gardens. Now, for survival situations, we need to account for us also. Some people say a gallon a person per day. I tell you what, I have lived with needing to go get my water, and I think I'm going to go with the 3 gallons, because you've got everything from bathing, and you've got everything for laundry and all that other stuff. And for a short-term survival of a week or so, yeah, you can go a gallon per person per day. But if you're talking longer term, I think a better number is 3 gallons per person per day. So we're trying to figure that out. If you've got 4 people, that's 12 gallons a day times 7. So what is that? That's 7, that's 84 gallons. So you add all that together, and you come up with a number of how many gallons are going out. Now, there's different ways that you can conserve water usage. That's very important that you do that. But I'm just starting with a basic number. So you come up with a number of how many gallons that you need that's going out. All right. Now, how about what's coming in? 2 things that we have to do for water coming in. First, we need to understand the environment. All right. Hey, right now, my gosh, take a look at this blue sky up here. Where is my rain? My rain's not here. All right. So I'm going to give a link in the description. I checked out our basic environment here, and it gives us a month-by-month rainfall. So I'm going to give you a link so you can do the same. On the low end, we get 5 inches of rain in a month. So that's how much is coming in, 5 inches. I need to be able to capture all that. So what I have is I've got my roof up here. And we take a look at the roof. And every roof, let's take a look at this roof over here. Every roof is a tool to capture water. And you can see I'm starting to get the rain barrels up here. All right, what do? We're going to use the same math here. We're going to check the square footage. All right, so this will say, just for easy math, we'll say 65 times 10, that's 650. All right, that's square foot. And we're going to multiply that by the inches. An inch of rain is 0.0833, and that'll tell us how many cubic feet of water. Then we're going to multiply that again by that factor, and we will figure out how many gallons that is. And we can figure out that we're going to pretty easily get, I figure, in half an inch of rain on one side, I'll be able to fill up 400 gallons of this. So half an inch of rain. My math, I'm going to check my math. But that's how we're going to figure that out. So we're going to look at the weather so we know what to expect. We know how much I can pull off the roof. And right now, I have between this and on the other side and these two here, when this is all put together, I will have 600 gallons of capacity. Is that enough? Not really. I'm going to have to expand that. So I want to look at how long I'm going to go. The next thing is my longest drought. How long am I preserving my water system for? How long am I building it for? Am I building it for a week? Am I building it for 2 weeks, a month? Some people want 6 months of water. Well, if you want 6 months of water, now you know how big you need to make your cistern, your water capacity, your pool, whatever it is that you have. So you need to know how much is coming in. You need to know how much is going out. And then you do the basic math, and we're going to show you this in just a little bit on how this math works. Once I go back inside, I'll do the math, and we'll do it together. We'll figure out my system, how much water I need, and how much I've got, and how long I will last. All right, let's go inside. All right, so I went and took some measurements. I've got them on the screen here. And let's go ahead and walk through the first one. So my first bed, this is my south bed. I've got potatoes and sweet potatoes and corn in it. This is a 16-foot by 90-foot bed in the ground. It's not a raised bed, it's in the ground. And that is, if I multiply those two together, that gets me to 1,440 square feet. All right. Now I'm trying to get the volume of water. I'm trying to get the gallons. So let's take a look at 1 inch of rain. That equals 0.0833 feet. So we're going to convert that to feet because it's very important to make sure all the units of measure are the same. So we multiply 0.0833 to 1,440. And by the way, my totals I know are not going to be precise because I am taking the liberty to round up and down a little bit. All right, that gets us to about 120 cubic feet of water. And how many gallons in a cubic feet of water? 7.48. So I multiply that together, and that's about 897 gallons. That's a lot of water. That is a lot of water that the ground needs. Now, here's the thing. Before you guys all get excited, this is based on rainfall. This does not take into account any of the water conservation measures that we all are likely to use. So this is a top end. This is a maximum end of what my garden would be needing. This covers the whole 16 by 90 square foot. For me, on most of my garden beds, I have a more targeted. I've got little sprinklers at each plant to really conserve that, and a lot of people do that. This is the maximum. All right, so just for that one bed, 897 gallons per week. Bed 2, it's a 7 by 13. That is a cantaloupe and cucumber bed, 57 gallons. Next one, 6 by 10, 37 gallons. 8 foot by 9 foot, 45 gallons a week. Then I've got my north bed. This one's a little larger. This has got a lot of sweet potatoes, corn, beans, things like that. That's a 25 by 52, and I'm 810 gallons a week. That's a lot of water that is getting dumped on the gardens when it rains. And we take a 16 by 12 for the other one. That's my asparagus bed. That's 120 gallons. And I've got 7 raised beds, each one 4 foot by 8 foot. That's a total of 140 gallons. That comes up to roughly 2,100 gallons per week is what my vegetable garden needs, ideally speaking. Now, if you get less than that, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, don't panic. But this is the target that we're looking for. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. We've got personnel usage. So we've got the 2100. Now we have to take care of ourselves. I've mentioned earlier that you can go with a 1 gallon per person or 3 gallons. And I like to measure for the 3 gallons per person. And you may actually need more than that during the summer. You're going to be drinking more water. But a 3 gallon per person is a good survival number. So I've got 2 people. That's 6 gallons per day times 7 days. That's 42 gallons per week. So that's 2,142 gallons is my estimate usage. That's what's going out. That's what I have to account for when I calculate my water capacity to see if I have enough water. These numbers are good whether you're in the country or in the suburbs. If you're out in the suburbs, you're out in the urban area, you got 2 people, 42 gallons. You got 4 people, you can figure on 84 gallons a week. And then you go take a look and you say, wow, I've got 10 gallons. Well, that might give you an idea of how well you're doing. Now, again, short-term survival, you're not going to need as much because you can go without washing your clothes, and you might even go without bathing as much and things like that. So this is ideal numbers, 2,142. All right, let's take a look at rain coming in. You can see my beautiful rain catchment. I just finished this end here. I hope you like it. Give me some comments of my styling. I designed this myself, and I'm just trying to get something a little looks a little nice and a little modern, and that whole front panel just lifts right off very easily, so I can access the barrels for maintenance and servicing purposes. All right, so the roof side here, that's 8 by 65, and so 520 square feet, and that is so this is for one side for 1 inch. Again, that's a 0.0833 feet. That gives me 43.3 cubic feet. Multiply that by gallons, that's 324 gallons. That's only one side of the roof. And if you've got unusual shapes, my last house, I don't know how many different sides I would have to calculate in different triangles and all that. Fortunately, I'm just doing rectangles here. But that gets us for this building, 648 gallons is the potential that I could collect for 1 inch of rain. All right, now I've got outbuildings. I've got a number of sheds, one that's an office, and that roof is roughly 10 by 10, so that'll give us 125 gallons per 1 inch of rain, and other sheds, that would get us 34, and then a couple sheds for 100 gallons each of rain. So total rain catchment potential, that's potential because your overflow is not going to be all the way to the top of your container. And for me, I don't have my gutters up on everything yet, but my potential is about 1,000 gallons per inch of rain. All right, now keep in mind, what did I say earlier? In my area, I've got a month by month measurement of for typical rain, and the low end is 5 inches. That means I could collect 5,000 gallons a month of water if I could hold it all. If I could hold it, I could collect 5,000. And some months, 7, 8, 9 inches of rain. That again, 1 inch, 1,000 gallons. That actually makes it really easy math for me to remember. But the potential is there to collect a lot of rain while it's raining, so that when you have that drought, drought time, you can pull on that water reserves. So let's summarize this. And we see, this is my one end of my water system while it was still under construction. And I've got 4 barrels on one side, putting in 4 barrels on the other. And but I could expand this, and I'm looking at the math here, and I'm going to probably have to expand this. But that's my beautiful picture there of the construction in progress. All right, weekly water usage for my location, 2,140 gallons a week, and total rain catchment potential for 1 inch of rain is 1,000 gallons. Doing the math gives me an idea of where I stand. If I'm in a big drought, that 1,000 gallons is going to disappear pretty quickly. Now, am I going to put a full inch on my garden? per week. No, I'm going to walk around and target my water to each of the plants. I mean, if I have to do it by hand, I will do it by hand. Although I've got little sprinkler heads and soaker hoses, as a lot of us do, because that's a lot of gallons for us to have to store if we just put water on the entire garden. But there are methods to reduce that. But the starting point in our math, 2,140 gallons a week at this property, and my storage potential right now is at 1,000 gallons a week. All right, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are doing. I would love to hear what you're doing to conserve water usage. That's very important. It's probably easier and more economical for us to conserve water than it is for us to increase our water capacity, although we're going to want to do a combination. All right, so let me know what you think, and share this video. Join us on Patreon if you could, where we can have in-depth discussions, and we do appreciate your support over there. It is very much needed. All right, thanks, and stay safe and stay prepared.